Hey there everyone, Marshall here. And I know it's been quiet for a hot minute, but we're going to be putting out a video explaining to you everything that's been going on behind the scenes and all the exciting new things here at Legion Steel here in the near future. For now, we're going to jump right into this today, and we're going to be doing an unboxing and assembly of our newest tool here in the Legion Steel workshop. And that is the XTOOL D1 PRO 2.0 10-watt premium desktop laser engraver. So we're going to be doing a complete assembly today, and I'll probably have some tips for you that will help you if you decide to get one of these yourself. You probably won't find them anywhere else, but who knows, there's a lot out there on the internet. And we're going to start with opening these bad boys up. We're going to take a look at what's inside, go over all the parts. So stick around and join me for the unboxing. All right, so what do we got? We decided to go with the all-in-one kit. And so the all-in-one kit includes the D1 PRO laser engraver. Now this is the frame, the laser module, the controllers, all the technical bits of this system. We also got the portable enclosure. Now this allows us to keep the laser engraver free of dust, free of debris. It also allows us to connect a vacuum system to it and clean the air, make it so that it's not filling the room we're in with fumes and making it, miserable to be around. Then we got the honeycomb metallic cutting pad. And what this does is you put this under anything you may be cutting, like acrylic or leather, wood, some plastics, and it diffuses the beam and also allows air to circulate underneath what you're cutting, and it prevents charring on the backside or melting on the backside of whatever you're cutting. We also got the air assist module. Now, what the air assist is think about this as like a mini compressor. It's going to put blasts of air right next to the beam to blow away any soot or debris from what you're engraving. Like if you're engraving glass, there's going to be little glass particles there. Things like wood and leather, you're going to have soot that is going to build up, and this blasts that clear of the engraving area, keeping your engraving cleaner and crisper. Then we got the RA2 rotary tool, and this is a 3-in-1 rotary tool. It allows you to hold the objects that you're trying to rotate, be it glass or a tumbler or a baseball bat or some sort of metal ring of any kind. It's going to allow you to hold them all in different configurations, whatever's going to work best for you, to be able to get a nice, clean, repeatable rotation. We also got some leg extenders so that you can fit the rotary tool in the engraver bed and raise the machine up to clear the rotary attachment. Lastly, we got some additional little samples to engrave and play around with that will let us try out all the different features of everything in the kit. That's what the kit comes with. We felt it was a great deal. It's going to give us a nice, well-rounded ability to use this machine for many different things. Everything from marking blades, to making sheaths, to even engraving and personalizing some of the gear that you'll be able to get here from us at Legion Steel. So let's dig into these and start opening them up and see what we got, because I don't know about you, but I'm excited. I want to see this stuff in person and up close.
So first we have the samples they sent with the kit. And here we have some pieces of plywood for you to practice cutting, laser engraving, feel out the machine for how it works with wood products so that you're familiar before you start with anything. They also give us some anodized aluminum business cards, and we get several. They give us 5 of each color. We have gold, we have black, red, blue. You can engrave them, give them to your friends, let them feel important. And here we have a nice tumbler. This is for you to learn to use your rotary tool with right out of the box, so you don't have to go order one. It comes with a straw, a cleaning brush, the lid's nice, and it'll let you practice with your rotary tool and learn how to use it. Overall, it's a nice assortment of samples. Now here we have the air assist and everything that's required for that. We have the instruction manual, which also tells you how to operate the controls, what all it comes with. It comes with some accessories to make your D1 a D1 Pro. If you have the D1 Pro, some of this stuff will just be spare parts. You've got a couple of filters. We've got our tubing that carries the air from the pump to the laser head. We have some attachments for the laser head, the air inlet, and also the inlet for the pump, and a guide tube for holding everything. We have an extra blue light shield with a hole to allow the air inlet. And then we have a laser shield with the hole in it for the air inlet. This is the air assist pump itself, pretty robustly built. You put the air filters in the bottom there. This is metal and plastic. I was actually kind of impressed with how sturdy it felt. It's got rubberized feet. Overall, this is a great accessory. And this is the rotary attachment. Here we have the leg extenders. We got two sets of them. The anodizing's pretty nice on them. With two sets, it's going to let us choose different heights that we would like to have our machine at for allowing a wider range of Z-axis focal length for different thickness of items. You can see there's like a frosted type of treatment done under the anodizing, which really makes it sparkle. This is the rotary attachment itself. It's a 3-in-1 attachment. And here we have the instruction booklet. There is a lot of customization that you can do here and a lot of neat little pieces. Let's get this out of the way. And here you can see we have our cords. They included some drivers for working with it. Pretty cool little setup. But you've got all the cords you need to connect this and do your various rotary tool engraving. We've got a level that's going to come in handy for a lot of things. This tail post is an adjustable height tail post with two bearing wheels. The adjustments are pretty fine, and this is exceptionally well built. I'm actually impressed with the quality on it. Here we have the first configuration of the rotary tool with two rubber rolling rods. One of these rods can be adjusted to three different positions, A, B, or C. That's your attachment point for a different configuration to allow you to connect to the stepper motor. Again, all anodized aluminum construction. This is a very well built unit. We have some different kinds of jaws. This is going to be for the chuck, some step jaws. You can use those inverted or uh, for the outside diameter. We've got a belt wheel there for connecting the belt to the stepper motor. Here we have the jaw chuck with a larger geared wheel so that the stepper motor can drive this attached part of the attachment. Very well built, sturdy aluminum. None of this stuff feels lightweight or flimsy. Here's our splined belt that will make everything happen. And then when you're using the chuck, this is a tail post with a slight conical aspect that will let you hold the other end of what you're working on. Keep it steady. Overall, I'm impressed. Now the honeycomb mat. So we've got some work holding. You've got a couple different types, the blue magnetic dots or these little corner holders. The honeycomb is steel. The outer frame is aluminum. We have inch and millimeter measuring marks on the frame. The whole thing's about a 1/2 inch thick, pretty sturdy built. For underneath, we have an aluminum plate. You put this on your desktop or your workbench, and it pretty much reflects the beam, preventing the laser from damaging your desk. Pretty simple, but pretty necessary. Now we have our enclosure. This is a portable enclosure, and right off the bat, it's packaged really well. You get this little envelope, some decals, some laser warning decals for safety, and your assembly instructions. Here we've got our lid with the window. That's a blue light filtering window. Everything seems to be pretty nicely made. The body of it is almost like a leathery nylon feeling, kind of weird. You got these straps for anchoring the lid, some Velcro attachment points, nice branding on it. Now we get to the power cord and your hardware and some included Allen wrenches. This is your exhaust port duct, your exhaust port fan. Your power connection is right there on the fan, a couple of hose clamps. And for those of us that remember slinkies, we have our accordion exhaust ducting. This takes me back to being a child. Now we have a side panel. It's got this tool holding Velcro strap. You can pull it out into loops and slide tools for your rotary attachment on there, whatever you need. This is a side panel. You've got a pass-through for your air assist, access for your switches and controls, and then your exhaust port where you mount your exhaust fan, and there's also several Velcro spots. This is your back panel. It's nothing really fancy, nicely done with Velcro, and your front panel with a very nice cutout. You've got your Velcro there on the sides, your cutout here to allow ease of access. Overall, it folds up nice and compact, and it's exactly what it says it is, a portable enclosure. Now what we've all been waiting for, the XTOOL D1 PRO. Very nice packaging, just like everything else. Here we've got all our manuals, our instructions, some safety information, and some marketing stuff. We've got a sample kit that comes with the engraver itself and a cutting pad here in aluminum. So with the samples, we get some cork, we get some wood, a little stamp kit with ink pad. We get some aluminum business cards, glass Christmas ornaments, a rubber pad, and some sticker material, well-rounded for learning to use your machine. And look at that. Look at that nice red. I mean, wow, that pops. It's got a nice frosted texture to it. These are heavy duty. This sidearm here is not light. It's a custom extrusion. It's not like the off-the-shelf extrusions with inlaid rails there for the rollers to run on. Here we've got a pre-tensioned belt, our stepper motor, the gantry mount. Everything just fits so nicely. Our front face here with our circuit board, a Wi-Fi antenna. We've got our start button, our emergency shutoff. Just really, really nice. Now, this is our back panel of the frame. Again, still heavy duty. In this piece here, we have a drive shaft. This allows the stepper motor to drive each gantry support together. And here is our gantry with our laser head mount. Comes all pre-wired, really sturdy, nice wheels, nice rails. Our power cord. Here we've got our power supply, and then we've got a tool and some various accessories. Now here is the soul of our engraver. This is the 10-watt diode laser. This is also available in 5, 20, and 40. It has a dovetail attachment. This dovetail allows you to slide up and down. We've got our focusing arm, and that allows you to just come down and touch off. Here we have the safety glasses. These are blue light protecting safety glasses. It's important to have them. Overall, there's not a lot in this box, but everything in this box is really awesome. Now we're moving on to the fun part. We're going to put this bad boy together. But first, we have a really nice instruction manual that's well illustrated, and it gives you a complete parts list and shows you step by step how to put this together. So we're going to start out with just a single screw on each corner, putting in the top screw. This is going to hold our frame together and allow for more easy assembly. It's important to note you don't want to tighten these screws all the way down until you have the frame completely assembled. Here we're going to put the rest of the frame screws in. So you have 3 screws at each corner. On your back corners, you're going to have a 4th hole, and this 4th hole is your tensioning screw. We're going to cover more of that here in a second. But I like to start with the top screw and then move on to the lower screws. Make sure everything's anchored well. But again, you're not going to be tightening everything up completely. And if you're going as fast as I am right now, you're a pro too. All right, and maybe the square is not needed, but I like to make myself feel important. So, jokes aside, I'm going to use the square here to make sure that all the corners are at a perfect 90-degree angle so that the gantry runs true and straight. Of course, any small square will work. Just a little tidbit about squares. If you don't keep the faces of the square clean, you can actually knock your work out of alignment. Now that we have the base frame together, we're going to put the tensioning screws in. You'll know which ones they are as they'll have the blue Loctite pre-coated on them. It's important that the tensioning screws are adjusted as close to the same tension as you possibly can, so they guarantee the gantry moves uniformly. The last thing you want is for the laser to bind up during engraving. Moving on to the internal components. So here, we're going to connect the stepper motor to the opposite side frame via this splined axle. We're going to set the tip of this axle into a bearing that is housed in the side of the frame. And when you engage the splines on the belt to the splines on the axle, you can move the gantry on the side that doesn't have the motor. Here you can see the axle falls just short of connecting to the motor, and they provide you with a connector here that will allow us to anchor the connector to the stepper motor and to the axle. This split right here, you're going to want to sight up the gap between the stepper motor and the axle inside that little slit. And you're going to want to tighten this down most of the way, but you want it to slip a little bit so that you can align your gantry mounts where when you bring them to the back of the frame, they should both touch the frame at the same time. Now, let's connect the power to our stepper motor. So this jumper cable here will connect the circuit board to the stepper motor, and that gives the stepper motor everything it needs. But you can see it's a little all over the place. So they provide you with some zip ties and 3 pre-drilled holes in the frame that we're going to use to tie down this wire. I like to get each zip tie set up just right before I end up cinching them all down and making it all nice and tidy. So now we're going to mount the gantry on the mounts. And this is pretty straightforward. It's 4 screws. You can see that everything is set up to where it self-aligns, and you can put the 4 screws with red Loctite into the holes and get everything anchored down nicely. everything should move without binding. So let's turn this back around, and now we're going to connect everything we need for power and communication on the gantry. First off is this little jumper cable here. This is for the limiter switch, and the limiter switch is going to help your x-axis not crash into the ends of the gantry. The gantry has this large wire ribbon with 3 connectors, and you can see they're red, yellow, and white. And down here on the circuit board, you can see red, yellow, and white. So it's pretty self-explanatory how you connect them. Just line them up correctly and snap them in. Once you have them all snapped in place, you're good to go as far as these connections are concerned. So now we're going to deal with this ribbon wire because this ribbon wire wants to curl all over the place. They give you holes for zip ties, but I didn't feel it anchored things securely, so I went to the hardware store and I got these self-adhesive zip tie anchors, and they do a wonderful job of holding the ribbon wire in place. So now we have the laser head, and we're going to install the air assist jet, which just threads right in, and you just turn it and get it into place. Here we have the dovetail adjustment. It's a ratcheting adjuster. You just pull it out and flip it over, and then you can continue to tighten it half a turn at a time. So once you get your laser head where you want it, just pull out and crank it tight until it holds the dovetail firmly in place, and you can see everything moves freely. To connect the head, we're going to lower everything all the way down carefully here. And you've got another ribbon wire coming out of the back of the gantry. And there's a slot cut in the top of the laser module that takes the ribbon wire, and you just pop your connection right in. Now, this is equipped with Wi-Fi, and they include a micro SD card to help your Wi-Fi work. We're just going to plug this micro SD right into the socket back here. Pay attention to the orientation. You're going to want to make sure you put it in right. And here you can see your hardline connections for power supply and the computer right next to your power switch. From here, we're going to go ahead and start putting on our leg extensions. So you just peel the rubber foot off and start threading in your leg extensions. You have 8 total with this kit, so you're going to put 2 on each corner, and they're pretty simple. You just thread one onto the foot, thread the next one onto that, and pop your foot back on there so that it has a soft contact with your counter. These are going to make the machine considerably taller and allow it to stand over your rotary attachment and whatever you may have in your rotary attachment or larger objects like a box. This is our cut backing, and once I peel this film off, we're going to slide this in here. This is for protecting your tabletop or workbench or whatever surface you're cutting on. Then you can install your honeycomb cutting pad over that, and the honeycomb prevents any kind of backflashing while cutting and burning the backside of your material. But I'm going to pull this out for now and show you how to connect our rotary attachment. The rotary attachment is a pretty simple system as far as connecting. It replaces the y-axis. So all you're going to do is disconnect the stepper motor from the circuit board and connect the rotary attachment in its place. Now, putting this all back together here, it's time to move on to the enclosure. Now, the enclosure is about as simple as it gets. It's a duct flange and a cooling fan and some hardware. So we're going to run some screws here through the front of the flange and the motor, and then into the side panel, and put some nuts on the back side here. Once we got those all in place, we're going to flip it over and snug them up a bit. But be sure not to over tighten these, as the enclosure is a soft enclosure. It's all held together by Velcro. So here I'm connecting the side panel with the exhaust to the back, and now we're putting the other side on. This has the air intake for our exhaust system. That's going to allow pulling outside air into the enclosure so that we can cycle the air through and get rid of any nastiness that we could possibly be breathing. Connecting the front panel is simple. It's 2 points of Velcro. I mean, if you wore tennis shoes in the 1980s, you got this. Lastly, we put our lid on. The lid is a single Velcro strap across the back. And then when you open it up, you're going to see these 2 straps with snaps. And these are going to help keep your lid up when you have it open and hold it in alignment as you're opening and closing it. And you'll have some magnetic flat magnets in the flap here that will help you keep it closed. Next, I'm going to put on one of the hose clamps and connect my exhaust hose. We're just going to stretch this over the outside of the flange, nice and good, and then move the hose clamp back to hold it securely in place. The other hose clamp I'm going to save because I'm going to have a buddy 3D print me a window flange so that this will port right out my window. Next is the air assist. So here, this is a connector hose that they include to allow you to hold your quick disconnect. The little blue ring on this piece is a quick disconnect for the hard line, plastic line that goes into the enclosure. We're going to feed it through this side port here. And once you feed it in, you want to make sure you have enough hose that you can stretch the entire travel of the laser head and connect it securely into the quick connect on the laser module. So that's pretty much it. It's a real simple setup for assembling this. So let's jump out to regular view.
So there you have it, everyone. The XTOOL D1 PRO desktop laser engraver. Now, this is a diode laser. It's not like your CO2 lasers or your fiber lasers. This is really set up for more for the home use and light industrial use. So I think we're going to be able to do a lot with this for both our product and our swag and the ability to customize some of our products for our customers. You also might find that having one of these yourself might allow you to start a small startup business of your own for some of the people you know locally or through a church or some sort of community center. And it's going to be really easy for you to set up and use, as you saw in the video. Now, XTOOL is always having nice sales. You go back to their site, check them out periodically. They've got different discounts at different times. We got this set at a pretty good deal. And, you know, as of the time of the filming of this video, they still have sales going on their website. So make sure you check them out. We have their link in the description box below and see what they have that you might want. Also, I want to let you know that as recent as about 2 months ago, YouTube turned off everybody's notifications. So, you know, we all hear the rumors about people being unsubscribed and YouTube kind of messing with things. So please go and check and make sure you have all your notifications turned on, that you're subscribed, that you have the notification bell for our channel and any other channel that you enjoy watching. And please like and share this video if you enjoyed it. As always, if you like what we do here, please stick around, watch some of our other content, and keep your eyes peeled for upcoming content as we have more videos coming soon in the near future. So, take care and stay sharp.